All right, we're live right now. I've got a fan on, and hopefully that's okay. You can't hear it. Let me know if you do, though. So, a few things tonight. It's Thursday night. Usually, it's my write night. It's when I am writing, but when a campaign is especially this fresh, it just feels wrong. And so, I am streaming because I want to promote. Like that's where we're at. Um, couple things. This background is just terrible. So I'm going to remedy that because it just looks like a mess. Especially because I also have like actual shipping supplies in here, inventory, all that jazz. It ends up looking awful. So because I'm going to convention, I actually got some of those pull-up banners, the retractable banners, whatever you call them. And I could probably, let me see, I could probably show you a video of what they look like. They're not here. I had them shipped directly to Keith Gleason because he's going to be, obviously it's his convention that I'm going to. So I shipped him directly to him, and we'll go from there. Blacklist Universe is here. Hello, hey Mike, great to see you. Hope things are well with you. And as we're getting warmed up, let me see. I gotta find it. I've got to find it. There's a video. I don't want to do any doxing though. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This will work. All right, let me share the screen here. Share screen. We got a system audio. I also have some other fun stuff. All right, so this is from Keith. There's audio here. I don't actually know what he says. I don't think he's saying anything wrong or anything that would be bad for me to share here. But basically, yeah, these are what they're going to look like. The pull-up banners. It's kind of exciting because it's my first time. But I going to convention, and I decided to get two because they're more narrow than typical. But hopefully they'll make my presence be known. But also I can use them in the background here when I bring them home. That's the plan. So yeah, it should be fun. Paul Wright is here. Hey, great to see you. My OpenSeas got hacked. Oh, that. Oh no, that could be really bad. Hi Clint, looking forward to seeing you at Plastic City. Likewise, Amy's Birdhouse. It'll be fun. I'm really excited about it. In case you didn't notice. All right, so here's Keith. If I don't think he's gonna say anything, we'll just see. But here he goes. He has the banners. He pulled them up to make sure they worked.
Hey Clint, this is your banners. I set them up in my kitchen here. I don't know if the lighting's gonna be that great, but it looks pretty good. Both of them came out pretty good.
There they
I don't know
are.
if you got these from Vistaprint or not. The one thing I
They were not
see, and you may
Vistaprint.
want to do this after the convention, but right up here in the corner, it looks like you're going to have to pop these gray things off and reseat this. It looks like it's not quite in there.
It's not
correctly,
in all the way.
You can see that.
That is minor detail. It's
but I
fine.
would do that after the convention, because sometimes
stuff.
those are a bitch to put in. But yeah, looks good, man.
Good stuff. I want to stop him there. Good stuff. So there he goes, and they came with carrying bags, which is whatever. But yeah, I don't know how much I expected those to cost, but they were not as much as I thought that they would cost, if that makes sense. So, so there we go. And then I'm gonna put them up in the background here. They'll look great. It'll be great. Paul Riley says, I guess I'm not going to sleep early tonight after all. I was going to. I am sick, in case you couldn't tell. But I have to hit this campaign. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get an energy drink. And on Eric's recommendation, I got this thing. I've never had it. Sour Patch Kids, but I thought because this is sweet cast, I don't want to do the dirty soda thing every time. But I'm gonna compare it to actual Sour Patch Kids. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I do want to talk about some campaigns tonight and give just like a few updates and things like that as well. Some other stuff too, like just crowdfunding in general that's somewhat interesting. Kickstarter and Indiegogo simultaneous campaigns, specifically being launched by Dynamite Comics in this case. Glad you like the banners. So yeah, we'll look at it. I'm gonna crack into this though and see if this is any good or if it's trash. The can is like they went through a lot of effort to make it have texture, which seems weird to me. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, That's actually pretty good. That lives up. Wow. It does taste like Sour Patch Kids. I don't even have to compare them. It totally does. But here is, let's say I got to get a red one. Red Sour Patch. It's red. Trust me. It looks orange on camera. They're the same. I can't tell the difference. All right. I'm not going to be chewing on stream that much, but here we go. So we're going to get into this. We got to talk about King Cryptid. We got to talk about Dracula. And I'm going to go to bed at 10:30. My time, no matter what happens. Here we go. I should probably also share this out. People aren't getting notifications. That's upsetting. My wife watches every single one of my videos, and yet still she won't get the notifications. But you know what's weird is for the first time ever, YouTube has started sending me notifications for my own videos. It'll be like 3 days late. I don't understand why they do it, but it happens. They do it. So I'm going to tweet this out real quick. I'm live. Post the link. There we go. All right, now it's official. All right. We are unstoppable. Here we go. RT Bear is here. Clint, great to see you, Art. Robert says, any chance you could add the trading cards as a standalone perk for Dracula? I don't want to pay the shipping for a book to Canada, but trading cards would still be neat. You think you asked me this. So trading cards are an add-on, but yeah, you have to get in to the perk to add it on. So I think what I can do, let me think about this. Campaign editor perks. So what if I had a perk that just says access to add-ons? Why don't I do that? Create new perk, standard perk, visible. You have to have a dollar amount. So I'm going to put $1 and count that towards shipping, I guess. I'm going to say access to add-ons. And the goal of tonight is to get 2 more backers. That is a modest goal, but really the goal is to hit 300. We're getting pretty close to that. If we get 2 more, then we'll only be 20 away from hitting that. So why 300? Because it's important to me. 300. So we will have 300 backers. What item? I'm gonna have to just add an item. I mean, come on. I probably could just say it's a trading card pack. I should probably not do this on stream though. That's the problem. I would like to. If I had someone else talking, I would. Give me some time and I'll do it. I just got to remember to do it tonight. All right. Before we get into this though, let me open up a new one. I know I'm a professional streamer here. All right, let's share the screen again. Share screen. There we go. All right, so few campaigns. I've got King Cryptid up here as well because I know your boy Peter Samedi he's gunning for that 400 backer line. One more would be 390. I could take credit for that, and trust me, I will. I'll take credit for it so I don't get fired from Alterna. That's been the ongoing joke, or is it? But yeah, check out King Cryptid if you haven't backed it. It's a great night to do so. Obviously, we're talking about Dracula as well. Here we are, 2 backers away from the nice round number of 280. We're off to a very strong start. It's solid. I have to keep reminding myself, comics do not get funded like all the time. And so it's like that first little bit is so big and important, but we have done it. So thank you. But we want to keep this climbing. So if you haven't backed Dracula, consider doing so now because we'll add you to the backer list. Roberts, you backed digital perk, but you do want trading cards. I have no idea what it costs to ship to Canada, but I'm going to guess that it's not terrible. It's probably just fine. So there's the link. If you haven't backed it, please do. I do want to talk about the story a little bit too and kind of get into it because that's the one thing I think everyone's talking about the covers. And so now that the covers are like, yes, we get it. These covers are beautiful. Let's actually get into the story. And I'll give you the premise and some of the stuff behind it because I do think it's really cool. And the fact that I didn't make a video is not helping me convey story. So yeah, we will get to that. So let's check back in with it though. So I want to do one. This is not really a story of the day, but it kind of is a story. And I'm also thinking, Robert Roberts, if I make that live, then you could back it and it'll be one more backer. That's where we'd be at. All right. So here we go. Eric Weathers posted this today. I talked to him a little bit. I was like, this is interesting. Let's click on it. So this is Kickstarter. This is Indiegogo. Obviously, it's Pride Month. June 1st kicked it off. And y'all remember last year, it was obnoxious. It was just everywhere, hitting in you in the face. And I think most companies, because they were so relentlessly mocked over it and everyone saw through it, they reined it in. But it is interesting that Indiegogo is waving the rainbow flag and Kickstarter is not. That's amazing because Kickstarter, generally speaking, never fails to virtue signal at any given point in time. They will do it whenever they can. But in this case, they're not. On like the day. I actually looked at it yesterday on June 1st, and they no virtue signal. Interesting. What does this mean? Probably nothing. I'm gonna guess that they reined it in because they are so woke that they heard back from employees and they're like, man, this is embarrassing. You need to like take it down a notch. That is my guess. I could be wrong. And then Indiegogo is clearly doing what, they got the memo 1 year late. So that was kind of interesting. So I did want to actually look over. This is a new campaign. I'm not promoting this by any means. It's just a case study. I find it to be a little interesting, at least. This is the boys from Dynamite Comics. Notice it launched today. I got an email. Apparently, I'm on their mailing list. I didn't realize that. And they launched today on Indiegogo. And they also launched today on Kickstarter. And by no means am I saying that these are going to be the results. It's where you build your audience, obviously, and a few other things. But clearly, Dynamite Comics put something into Kickstarter that they didn't put into Indiegogo. Indiegogo has literal one backer, but yet they have $565. That means, if my calculations are correct, there we go, one claimed, they backed literally the highest tier here, which is $550 for 2 signed all 3 boys Omni hardcovers for $550. So that's something, I guess. But on the other hand, over here at Kickstarter, they're up at 21,000. I got to refresh this though, to be fair. I'm not sure when they launched this today. Still one backer. So I'm not sure what this is about. Not sure what it is about. But there you go. Double campaign, same time. It doesn't work for everyone, but I guess they're whatever, 500 some odd dollars richer than they were before, I suppose. Let's look back here at Dracula. Is this the correct one? Checking in with the chat. They realize that pride is a sin. Kickstarter. Thing is, you can still go to Kickstarter and they have like there's so much virtue signaling on their site. It's not like Pride Month virtue signaling, but it is. It's just, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But interesting. All right, so Terror Wombat, Dynamite has disappointed me on several campaigns, and I'm still missing perks. Yikes! What I'm curious to know what you backed and what you didn't get from Dynamite. It's interesting. Excuse me. This is a sour drink. It's interesting because for some reason, when it comes to an individual creator, I don't feel like fans have much of an issue letting them know, hey, I didn't get my perks. Your campaign is really late, and rightfully so. But when it comes to bigger companies, it becomes difficult because it's like, well, who do you talk to? I mean, you can put a complaint in. Have you heard anything? I'm curious. This was the Art T Bear Vampirella cover. Never got it. Yikes. That was a while ago too. It sucks because Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm coughing. It's too bad because that reflects poorly on Art, who would have not. He did the cover, but that he's not fulfilling it. That feels bad. I get that. I hope they get you your cover, man. Yeah. So Dracula. I don't remember if I posted the link. I did post the link, just barely. All right. So we're gonna get into this. We talked about the covers. Fantastic, obviously. But here's a question that comes up. First off, where does Dracula take place? The answer is it takes place in America. When does it take place? It takes place modern day. So it's a little different. So then you'd ask, well, why does this cover look like it's old school? Why does this look like Victorian era? Well, that's because when you get into Dracula's house, his mansion here, you could be coming from the street. Things look great. This is actually them going into a restaurant earlier in the book. But when you get into his castle, it looks like this. You step over the threshold. So the story here, we see the backs of heads here. This is John Harker. He is a lawyer, just like the John Harker from the original. This is Mina, his fiance, and this is Quincy. Now I changed some relationships here because it's not a retelling of Dracula at all. I used characters. I'm sticking true to some of the roles that those characters played, but the story is very different in a lot of ways. So what happens? What starts this whole story off? This guy here, who you see the back of his head, this is Quincy, and Quincy is always getting into trouble. He's modeled after the Island Boys for a reason. That's what's up with his hair, because he just, one screw loose. I don't know anything about the Island Boys, but I'm making some vast assumptions. Maybe they're scholars, but he gets into a lot of trouble, and in this case, he gets into trouble. It's not his fault. He's working, trying to get his life together, and he sees something he will never forget. It's something newsworthy. It's something awful. I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to have the experience. He sees something terrible, and when he goes to his boss at work, his boss tells him to stop. When he refuses to stop, he says he's going to whistle blow. He is arrested and thrown in jail. So John Harker is called in because Mina and Quincy are brother and sister. That's his fiance. So his brother-in-law to be is in jail. John Harker has got to go bail him out. This is the last time, and then he finds out that he stumbled upon something pretty legitimate here. There's something going on. From there, Dracula, he owns everything. He owns everything involved in the story here, and he's definitely an Epstein type. He is a sociopath in a lot of ways. He's very manipulative. He's very charming, and this is, once you get inside, good luck. So that's how it starts. Yeah, fun story. I don't want to I feel like because it's a horror, I can't give away too much. That's what's been so tough, is because the experience of being surprised is part of it. Donald DeLay did a killer job on the artwork. There are some nods to older creators, one being Frank Miller in his stylistic choices. Not only that, though, like there's a particular scene where somebody is being stabbed with a pointy wooden object, and specifically we chose to have it look like Daredevil or Elektra, when they're stabbing people in those early Frank Miller comics, and it just sort of bulges through the shirt. Like it doesn't actually, it stabs the person, but it just bulges the clothing. He's got one of those in there, which is pretty fun. He's got a few other nods to some other things, which makes it fun. So if you're paying attention, you'll get some good stuff. Dracula did not kill himself. You're not wrong. Terror Wombat following up. Other campaigns came damaged, no replacements. From Dynamite, really, no replacements. I'll tell you, this is why when there's a creator running things by name, you talk to the creator and you'll get answers. Anyway, love this page. Obviously, you've seen this one a lot, and I think it just encapsulates everything. There's something with photography in this, and every so often there's a picture taken, and it's supposed to be a little off-putting, and I think it achieves that. I can't go too much into it, otherwise it won't be effective. Trading card set. This is by Henry Ponciano. He did a killer job. I mean, these are the most detailed trading cards I've ever had for a campaign. 4 trading cards, and the only guidance I gave him was that it was going to be Dracula through the ages, because this is a modern day Dracula, and the assumption is that he never met a John Harker back in the day, and so he's just been living his life until current day where he meets this John Harker. It's not the same universe, not a continuation. It's just another way to tell a story about Dracula. So this is through the ages. So we have the Vlad the Impaler version. You can see, it might be hard to see, there are actually bodies on pikes up here. Oh, come on. Zoom in. Can you see that? Bodies on pikes. Oh my goodness. There we go. So that was pretty cool. We have the Industrial Revolution. That looks so good when you can see it larger. This is sort of like a 1930s gangsta, kind of thing. He's in a castle with flying buttresses and bats flying out to the moon. And then there's even the COVID version, which at first I was like, I don't know, man, COVID is overdone. But it actually turned out really cool, because the concept being he's among you today. He could be anywhere. So that was really fun. So I love the trading card set. I'm trying to minus out. There we go. Trading card set turned out to be fantastic. So this is in the trading card set if you purchase it, if you back it. But there are a few other perks. So if you back in the first 24 hours, you're getting a foil version of this cover, the Kelsey Shannon cover. If you're in and among the 300 backers, 300 first backers, you're going to get a trading card featuring the Eric Canetti cover artwork. So you see, the earlier you back, the more you get. So it's pretty cool. It's a good deal. All you have to do is back sooner rather than later. Let's see. Blacklist Universe, that was a Comics Code thing. The knives not poking through the clothes. I had no idea. I thought it was a stylistic choice. It's kind of nuts, because you can have someone get stabbed, but you just can't see it. I don't know. I only saw it in Daredevil. Maybe it was elsewhere. Maybe you'll know. But that is interesting. But we have one of those in here because it just seems, it's iconic. I love it. So yeah. Let's see. Paul Riley. That used to always crack me at the sword. It goes all the way back through the body, out the other side, but can't pierce the back of the shirt. Yeah, it's funny. You should put a family tree in the interior cover. I considered it. I opted not to. I do have a dedication there, though, for Bram Stoker, and I make my relation pretty clear there. It's kind of funny. I thought about it, but the problem is, do I want to have names of all of my relatives? You know what I mean? Because it'd be like my parents, my grandparents. Like it seemed weird at that point. I don't. Maybe I'm making too much of it, so I didn't do that. But I do have a dedication to him. I assume it will be a Comics Code thing. That sword couldn't be shown fully penetrating, so the clothing covering it made it okay. Go figure. Black out the names in blood. Oh, that could be cool. It would just be the tree. That could be a stretch goal too. We could add in like an insert or something. I don't know if that'd be lame. It is at the printer. Sorry guys, I've got the snivels. I've got problems here. All right. Beyond that, we're also looking at King Cryptid. I know Peter Sabetti is working really hard right now on fulfilling books, shipping things out. He's a one-man show at Alterna. And so trying to make sure that he does well as well. He's killing it, really. he should be making sure I do well. But he's doing great. He's getting close to 20K. This story looks super fun. You get 4 different issues, 4 different stories, and they're fun classic comics. You even have thought balloons, which is fun. So I'm interested to see I'm interested to read the books. Honestly, everything I've seen from them so far looks great. So check out King Cryptid if you haven't yet. Ying Zan Zhao, evening. Hello, great to see you. Welcome to the stream tonight. What I'm doing, Eric suggested this, which is Ghost energy drink, 0 sugar, but it tastes like Sour Patch Kids, and I compared it with actual Sour Patch Kids here because it's sweet cast, so we're talking sweets just because. And I gotta say, they taste, it's uncanny, it's kind of creepy, but it tastes good. It's just rough though. It's like the can itself, weird. It's like embossed. No, it's got like a UV coating, but like a textured UV coating. I don't know how else to say it. Kind of strange. Yeah. So, oh, these are the perks. Should I just do it? Can we do it live? I don't know if you're here still, Roberts. Let's see. So if it's $1, access to add-ons. I have to add an item. No, so I have to make up an item. I have to go down here, create a new item, and I'll call it access to add-ons. No, I'm not offering any options. This is what Indiegogo looks like. I have to put an image in here. I got to stop sharing. I'm not sure where it's going to pull from. Family photos. There we go. All right, so I'm glad I didn't share. It's just my desktop. So, all right, so we're gonna go to Dracula. I know this is super interesting. I know it. We don't all have to be good at streaming. We just have to stream. All right, campaign, and I'll just throw in, oh, trading card set. I'll just throw that in for the image. Quantity available. There's no limit. Anyone can get in, and it's gonna ship a weight of 2022. It does have to be shipped. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. I'm gonna say no because it costs $1. A description: get access to add-ons. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. Save. Okay, let's make sure that worked. Share my screen again. Share screen. All right, so I'm going to refresh this, not for the number movement, but for, there it is, access to add-ons. There it is. Oh, I have to set up the add-ons too. Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right, so the way that works is I gotta go down. This is the one thing, it makes it difficult, but it's actually great. So I need access, is at the top. Access to add-ons. I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to, hold on. Access to add-ons, bulk actions, set up add-ons. And then this is where I say what you can add on. So I'm going to say you can add on anything you like, because that is what the point of it after all. So update perk, save changes. Here we go. Now it should be there. What is the shipping cost? I don't know. So the way that it'll work is you add on items, and they should have a small upcharge for shipping. That's the way that it's supposed to work. So you're a bit of an experiment here. So right now shipping's $1. So it's going to be $1, and then as you add things on, it'll add a little bit for shipping, but it's not a lot. But I think a trading card set, even to Canada, is not a big deal. Try it out, and I'll let you know how it works. So if you want to get it, this is where to get it. And if it really is a problem, oh, I was going to say I'll ship it with your last order. It's a digital. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, cool. I'll order now. Thank you very much. Yeah, let me know how that goes. And that'll be one backer. So we only need one more, and we'll be at 280, which is a good place to be. Again, if you're in the first 300 backers, you get a trading card right here with featuring Eric Canetti's artwork, which you wouldn't otherwise get. No one else is going to get it but the first 300 backers. So get in there. I expect the campaign to raise based off of where we're, the trajectory right now. This stuff's making me burp. It's going to be well over 300 backers total. We're only in a week right now. So yeah, do check it out. All right. Let's see. Meanwhile, let's check out the boys. So their Kickstarter is over 21. It's approaching 22. Indiegogo. Oh, still just one backer. Darn. I don't get it. It's wherever they sent their mailing list to. Mailing lists are like it cannot be understated how effective mailing lists are. My campaign slowed down to a crawl. Can I do insights? No, I'll save that. My campaign slowed down to a crawl as it does. And I thought, I wonder if I can shake the trees here. And so I sent out another email to the mailing list. I updated my other campaigns to let people know about it. And we had a fantastic day that day. It was like almost $1,200 raised in a single day. No stream. It was just the mailing list. Now you can't draw from the same well over and over. It's like, people get sick of emails. So next time I send an email out, it has got to be something interesting. Like I have to have news to share that is interesting to people and not just, hey, remember to back the campaign. So I'm trying to figure out what the right tempo is of emails, but presumably all the people that signed up for my mailing list wanted to be on there in theory. So I got to let them know about the campaign. So I don't know. We'll figure out the balance. I'm trying a blue one. What else can I show you? I'm going to show you something. Let's see. This is a beautiful site right here. What is this? These are the print files for Downcast 1 through 6 for Alterna, not volumes. These are single issues, but that feels good because right now he's working on the campaign for number 6 after he fulfills current orders that he has. So that'll be great. Robert says, I backed it. Thank you. Shipping was about $4. Okay. Well, I'm glad it added shipping. I will figure out exactly what it is, but I think that could be in the ballpark because I'd have to package it up too. But thank you, Robert. That'll help us. Get there. I should refresh this. There we go. 15,306. Thanks for backing. Next backer gets us to 280, which was my goal. I told my wife I'll be in bed by 10:30. I'm going to go to sleep because I'm sick, but I've got to push it. So we're going to try some live streaming. So that's the plan right now. Let me show you something. Let's look at some art from Dracula. I got to pull this over first. I don't want to spoil everything. All right, we're going to go to Dracula. Let's go to the high res. See if this is a good idea. All right, so here's all the Dracula files right now. What do I want to show you? Something new. I don't want to spoil things though. That's the hardest bit about this whole thing. So I told about the wood block. I mentioned that being part of my thought process. I never actually told Donald about that for the artwork from his perspective, but I decided to actually include it. Can you see that? So here's a page here with this is the exact wood block. He added it in, so it's a big. It's not really a painting; it's a tapestry hanging from the wall in Dracula's mansion, and it's important to him. It's also a very creepy moment. So it shifts things. He tells a little bit about it. I don't think it's giving away too much here, but in context, it's like it was fun. I'm really glad that we added it. So pretty cool, and that sort of ties it in together. Can I show you something else without causing problems? Let me see. That's why we come. That's why you come to these streams. There's so much spoiler stuff going on in here. Let me see if I can find that stabby. This might be it. There it is. So shadowy figure stabs her right through the chest. There it is, bulging in classic. I guess now maybe it's been ruined a little bit because it's the comics code of authority. I don't know, but it's fun. There, I love too how she's all in shadow. This is Sin City-esque. That's what it reminds me of. Again, Frank Miller. He took it, I keep mentioning Frank Miller. It's not like 100% Frank Miller, but they're just little things here and there that remind me of Frank Miller. I know he had some input on it, but yeah, that was fantastic. So that's all I'm going to show right now. I don't want to give too much away. So 279 backers. Can we get 280? One more backer will get us there. We have 9 people watching. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. I'm going to post a link. And if you're watching after the fact, because I'm going to bed at 10:30, no matter what happens, that's what I'm going to do. You can still get us there too. You're fantastic. I appreciate everybody for making it happen. All right, so for YouTube content, I've been thinking about this a lot. I recorded another video for tomorrow. I got a lapel mic. Maybe you saw that, because I want to try and record things that are not just me sitting here at the desk sharing my screen. Though I think that format worked for a lot of people. I don't know. To me, it's interesting to just break things up a little bit. So if I improve the audio of on location videos, maybe it's a little bit better. So I tried some of that. It's baby steps. Okay. Nothing crazy. Beyond Time says, "What's up, my peeps?" Hello, John Caleb Thompson. Love the woodblock look. Probably going to send you a block soon. Oh, wow. Now that I'm finally done with art school, I've got time to work on stuff for fun. That sounds awesome. Wake up early and go on the tail end of the Jack show. That's really early. That would be very early. Yeah, I don't know. You know, one time I asked to go on the Jack show. This was a couple years ago, and they said no. I don't blame them, but this was like back when I was promoting Fatal. It was because they thought I would make it not fun. I would run the fun because they'd feel bad saying all the kinds of things that they say with me on the stream, which is fair. It's fine. Having said that, Kelsey Shannon is a regular on the Jack show, so I'm sure he'll promote at least his cover a little bit. So, and again, I don't blame them whatsoever. That's kind of how I think you got to think about YouTube. It's not about, hey, we're promoting comic books and people, and it's a community. I think the way that you have to think about it is, I have an audience of people that come here for these reasons, and they trump everything. You have to serve the audience and give them what they want, what they came for. And so, yeah, you got to make interesting content for them. So, yeah, and honestly, I should do more of that. I used to do more of it. Robert says, the Jack show are sexual degenerates. I feel bad when I watch them weekly. Yeah, I had to stop watching. I watched like the first couple, but it's just it's too much sometimes. You never know. So I don't know. I tuned out. Nothing personal, but I just can't. So here's another goal too. Right now I am less than 2,000. Wow, it's like almost $1,000 away from my total Indiegogo history being $250,000, which is crazy. Like, I wish that I had $250,000. So much of that money goes into just producing the book. Obviously, that's total funds raised, but those are dollar for dollar from backers. That's insane when you think about it. You and Aaron Lepresti should have a show about manners and politeness. I love that. I don't think I've ever streamed with Aaron Lepresti. He'd be fun to stream with. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to reach out. I don't honestly don't know him well, like, at all. I haven't even like seen him much. So, but I have heard he's a fairly conservative guy, socially conservative guy, and so that's a factor. I like that too. I think not everybody has to be edgy. There's room for everybody. All right, good stuff. Okay, so new backers. Okay, I'm gonna refresh this again. I think that one of these was from earlier. Yep. Okay, so we still need one more backer to get us to 280. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. Tonight's a great night to do it. These are hardcover books. This is my first time doing hardcover. I'm really excited about it. We have everything 100% finished. Everything is sent to the printer already, and we're in line essentially. I don't think they've actually started printing yet, but I think we're in line, which is actually most of the wait. Like that's the biggest part of it, because there's so many people waiting in line to get paper because there are paper shortages. It's hard to come by. So I'm in line. By their estimations, that August deadline should be pretty realistic. So it's going to be a fairly quick turnaround. You can get the digital version if you want a PDF. Heck, you can, if you've already backed and you just want to get some back end perks, you can do that here as well. Access to add-ons. Check out the add-ons we have, and grab something that you haven't. You can get signed copies of Alterna 1 through 4 Downcast books. You can get the trade paperbacks. Catch up Downcast 1 plus 2 is 1 trade paperback plus 3. You could do that. Oh wait, for $25 instead of $20, I could get a hardcover. Yeah, it's true. You could, if you want to switch, you can do that. that could simplify things. Yeah, it's for a hardcover book. This is only $25. I don't know that I've expressed that enough. This is a very inexpensive hardcover as far as hardcovers go. It's 56 pages in total. That includes a 50-page story. It includes a 3-page backup story by Narwhal, and it includes the rest of the extras pages. I don't know, I drew a blank there. So it's a nice book. This is being printed by API, which is a reputable printer here in the USA, and they do fantastic work, really good stuff. They've done books that I know you've seen around, anything from Bigfoot Bill. They did the Soul Finder books. They've done the Carmen America books. They've done, let me think about this. I'm pretty sure they did Groken. Yes, they did Groken as well. If you got Groken, they've done lots, and I don't even know everyone that's done it because some people are pretty hush hush about where they got it printed from. But yeah, great print quality. They've done all the Downcast books, and so this is my first time trying hardcover. Should be cool. Black and white interior pages, because we're going for that woodblock kind of look. Yeah. Shipping would double that though. I will contemplate it. Yeah, that it does change things, because now we're talking about a hardcover book shipping. Something to consider. Black and white interior pages by Donald DeLay. He did a killer job. It has that stylized cartoony feel, but also kind of creepy at the same time. And yeah, just a lot of fun. It's a fast-paced book. Like reading it, I think flows pretty quickly. But at the same time, it's true to the Dracula sort of slow burn feeling. So the point is that there's tension that builds throughout. So it immediately starts and it ramps up constantly through the whole thing. And the page turns have been fun. There's something to do with cameras. There's something to do with bugs. There's something to do with a lot of things. And then obviously the common vampire tropes, wooden stakes, garlic, and the like. So please do check it out. Back it if you haven't yet, and help us reach new heights. All right, good stuff. Also, King Cryptid, I'm going to post that link as well for your boy Peter Samedi. I like, this is actually the stream I kind of like, is just talking to the chat. Like we did one last week, it was a Friday or something, and we could just talk. That's kind of fun. I gotta say though, like you could reach people when you're not using YouTube. They don't even send out my notifications anymore to probably most people. Spoiler, turns out Dracula is actually the Wolfman. That would be a spoiler. That would be a twist worth watching. So I have no idea if this has any backers, but I'm refreshing it anyway. All the same, it's still there, mid-campaign grind. So there we are. All right, let's check out the boys while we're at it. Here it is. Did they ever get one hardcover? I'm not promoting this, by the way. I just want to see. How is it possible they still have one backer, just one backer? And then over here, usually this calculates itself. Let me refresh it though. 21717. Oh, there you go. They did hit 22. So I don't know. That's something to be said for just focusing on one place. You can't do everything. Or maybe not like this, like at the same time competing. We could look at the She campaign. It would go differently. Let's see. I'll get rid of those. If Catholics use a crucifix to ward off vampires, do Mormons use anything cool? Maybe you could go down in history by inventing something. You know, I've been asked a lot about doing something that has to do with my religious beliefs and religious perspective, and do that in a comic book, or like, you know, because there's Battlestar Galactica, I guess, that has some influence there. I don't know. If I did one, I have one idea, and it would have to be a Bigfoot story. This is one thing. This is not by any means is this Latter-day Saint doctrine whatsoever, but there is the doctrinal element is that Cain, Cain that slayed Abel, he was cursed to wander the earth as a vagabond for existence, and anyone who killed him, their life would be worse off. So he was just going to live forever, right? And that is biblical, but there are stories, not doctrine, but stories of Cain showing up as a giant hairy man in like the early 1800s. Now, all of this could be completely false as far as that goes, but what that has done is sparked the imaginations of many people in that Cain is Bigfoot. And I could do a Cain is Bigfoot story. I've got ideas for that could be cool. So if I did it, that would be it, and it would be extremely loosely based off one little kind of component. It has more to do with LDS culture than it does doctrine. So, but that would be about it. Everything else, it's like family is important, but I don't think that, that's not exclusive to to LDS people. Obviously, to me, like traditional American values, like that's more the kind of stories that I want to tell. But I don't know, I could be so inspired. I ain't the only one that's been burned. Check out the other comments on their campaigns. Yeah, maybe they burned their bridges with Indiegogo specifically, in particular, and the unsuspecting audience on Kickstarter is just like, oh, the boys, I've heard of them. That was a TV series. Terror Wombat says Dracula dies wearing the holy underpants. Oh no. Robert Roberts, oh cool, you must do it. It would be cool. I have a concept for it. Here it is. I'll free flow this. So you have a guy that goes hunting. This is extremely basic. He goes hunting. He finds this like hidden valley, not the ranch, an actual hidden valley. And he goes into this hidden valley, and it's like untouched, like from humans for who knows how long. And he goes around checking things out. It looks pretty cool. And he stumbles upon what looks like Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot is hairy, and he has a face. But here's the thing. I thought, why is the curse of Cain that anyone that kills him, their life would be worse off? Like their life would be so much worse, like for anybody that killed him. So this hunter, of course, kills him. He shoots Bigfoot. So Bigfoot is dead. And this guy is like, that was creepy. And he goes home. Well, now he sees a Bigfoot. I actually had a nightmare about this. He sees a Bigfoot that looks similar, but it has, instead of like brownish, like alive fur, it now has this gray dead fur and no face, like almost like Cousin It, just fur. Where is that Cousin It from the Munsters? Or the Addams Family? Which is it? Anyway, in my head, it's this big, tall creature that has no face, and now that he's killed him, he's cursed. And so there's this, and I don't know how it ends. I don't know what happens next, but that would be the premise, is that he kills Bigfoot, Cain, and then he's now cursed, and Cain is alive because he can't be killed anyway. He's back, but he's like 10 times scarier, and he has no face. The right artist could kill this. Narratives are always a fun way to share. Religion's Battlestar Galactica is awesome. Yeah, there could be some elements of that. I would definitely do it intentionally, and I'd tell you, like, hey, this book has some elements. People in the early days, it was weird because when I did Downcast 1, I remember going on channels to promote it, and people were asking, like, is there any of your Mormon stuff in this? If so, I don't want to back it. And I'm just like, what? Like, that's so weird. There isn't, but if there was, I mean, the like family, to me, Downcast is about family, but that's, I mean, what's objectionable? I mean, come on. The Exorcist movies, wasn't that Catholic? Left Behind. Last week was the 100th birthday of Christopher Lee, my favorite Dracula. Who's your favorite? Ooh, Christopher Lee, man. He's up there. He told a story, I think it's on YouTube somewhere, of him breaking down in his car somewhere, like in England somewhere. I don't know, Scotland, England, somewhere in the UK. And he had to walk to the nearest house to use a phone. And he got all muddied up and kind of disheveled, I guess. He knocked on the door, and the woman answered the door, and she just went completely pale because there was Dracula standing there at the door to ask to use her phone. I thought that was a great story. I'll have to find it somewhere. He's a great Dracula. I couldn't. I don't know that I could one up that. So his life is ruined, and he must resurrect Bigfoot to break his curse. That's the question. I mean, what does this, like, what now is his motivation other than pure terror? So he's got to somehow make amends for this, right? He's got to do something. His life is ruined. That's why I thought maybe he could read, because again, there's more. If you lean into like the LDS scripture stuff, there's the son of Cain is Lamech. I don't know if I say his name correctly. And he's got the same kind of thing going on. So maybe it's like the son of Cain. I don't know. It creeps me out the more I think about it. There's got to be something though, right? There's something there. In the next Downcast, a man holds an open door for a lady. Yeah, that'd be my values showing through. Yeah, I could do that. I have little hints of, I mean, you saw a little in Downcast 3, little hints of not romance necessarily, but just like hints that it exists in the world between Jax and whomever. There's more of that happening, but it just feels like you need some straight just hints of romance. It's coming of age for Jax. Joanne could, but she's too obsessed right now with what's going on. But it's like I don't want to overdo it, because then it's like virtue signaling the other way. But to me, it makes for a more interesting story and better characters because you see how they interact in those situations. So just a little bit of that. Maybe Hunter kills his brother in a fit of rage. Oh, the Cain and Abel story. That is interesting. You could do something. So maybe that is the curse. And then he becomes the next Bigfoot, basically, because he killed Cain. So now he murders his brother and takes his place. That could be interesting. Totally tons of ways you could go that way. After Hunter becomes next Bigfoot, Cain reincarnation. Yeah. Oh, and then he's a human, and he takes over the hunter's life. That would be absolutely awful. Wow, that would be a great horror story, though. He takes over the hunter's life, so then he like just picks up where he's off. They switch places. Now you have Hunter Bigfoot in this little hidden meadow for who knows how long, practically eternity, hundreds of years at the least. And all he can hope for is that somebody kills him so that he can take someone else's life. But his life, as he knows it, is over. And Cain has taken his place. Yeah, that would be interesting. There's more. There's more there. I'm sure of it. That's a good idea. I like that. Hunter kills his brother in a fit of rage. Good stuff. Well, it's almost 10:30. I don't have another backer for this. I'm going to refresh it anyway. And you know what? That is okay. Appreciate you, Robert Roberts, for adding on the trading cards. The closer we get to 300 backers, the better, obviously. And regardless, this book is in production. It is funded. So I really appreciate everybody's support. And we're going to continue on making the book. Obviously, it's at the printer. Ship it out, and that'll be another successful one under my belt. It's funny because it feels like this is an easy one at this point, because usually all this work happens after the campaign, but most of the work happened when nobody was watching. So that was pretty fun. Nacho has turned in 2 new pages today. He usually turns them in batches of 2 or 3. And so he is, if my math is correct, 10 pages in to the next Downcast. Chapter 2 is by Eric Weathers on the art. His story is killer. I'm really excited about that. Eric is 8 pages in, I believe. So between those two, we have about 18 pages finished for Downcast 4. We're just going to keep going. Honestly, I don't know when that's going to launch. It could be next year. And if it is next year, it'll be early next year. But the goal is to really get Fatal finished. So that's the goal. But in the meantime, I mean, we got to keep artists working. That way, Downcast will be a quick turnaround. We're doing most of the work up front again, and hopefully all the work. Maybe the only thing I would change is don't order the print yet. Like, don't order how many books, because it's such a shot in the dark. Get the print file ready, send it to the printer, get a proof, and then launch the campaign. And then maybe halfway through the campaign, decide how many books you need to print. That'd be the only change I'd make. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a regular video tomorrow. I'm going to be trying some new stuff, so let me know what you like, what you don't like, and I'll see you later. Bye.